Hi everyone, week 23 update from McManus Real Estate, and here we are. We're just driving, heading to Tamora, off to see a motel, which will be good. Been caught in the hotels in the last wee while, so it'd be nice to get back into the motels. So pretty excited about that. Or last couple of weeks for 24-25 financial year, and that's pretty much how we're gearing up at the moment. And I'd have to say we are deferring our June auction until July, only because already three of the properties don't want sale days of June. They want July. So that's just one of those things. Let's bring it over. That's better. Yes. So week 23, what's happening? What's happening in the marketplace? Well, we did have an auction Friday. We had bidding, and the market is setting prices. Unfortunately, we didn't reach reserves on both occasions, and I tend to give all the buyers a couple of days to think about it. Nobody wanted to meet the reserves. The highest bidders had the first right of refusal. So, onwards and upwards, really. It's a matter of, I would love to say that we influence it, but the market is the market, and I suppose as much as we want to not fabricate, but maximise the sale price, when all of the buyers are at about the same level, that's just telling us where it's at. So the process is working extremely well. We're up, I think, 9.7 million views already on Google, and generally the other social media platforms are about the same. They have different methods of measurement, so you can't actually compare, which is smart business, I suppose. But the reality is we've had the exposure, we've measured the exposure, we've actually increased. We've increased our viewing by a considerable amount, just to get the same amount of buyers, and that's what you got to do. We found that when the market did drop, and it dropped 25 to 30%, nothing we could really do about it. Holy guacamole, is this where it's coming through? I'll just turn you around, and rails coming through. Jeepers creepers. Anyway, back to our market. So yeah, it's a matter of the books stacking up, the catchment, all things that you looked at when you were buying it. If you're the vendor, stacks up. A rule of thumb, you need about 8,000 in your catchment. That's an old one. A lot of them go for about 15,000 now. So whether that's immediate or just in the general area, so including your rural base, but certainly about 8,000 in your catchment, and then your profitability through your books, which sounds very easy, but it's and you've got to give them something to buy, and it just can't be bricks and mortar, because at all levels they come back, and eventually they've got to go to the bank, and whether that bank is, a trading bank, or whether that's just to their partner and saying, hey, let's buy this pub or motel, and it's going to be better than our current income and a better lifestyle and all those sorts of things. So where that equation's changed dramatically, especially in the motel arena, where let's say it's a couple retiring or getting out of Canberra, and they're on 200,000 a year each, so net. Remember, their salary is net, so 200,000. So there's 400,000 you've got to compete with. They're only on 40 hours a week. In the motel, they're going to be doing 7 days a week. So that's an equation that never used to be there 10 years ago. It used to always be better, we'll buy a motel and work that for 10 years, and I'm going to earn a lot more money than the both of us would in salaries. So that's just one of those equations out there that we have to take into consideration. So your land and buildings might have gone up in value, but your business, the attractiveness of your business hasn't. So therein lies one of the challenges, I suppose. But in saying that, we're getting good inquiry. We're getting good views. It's probably the market correction has happened, and hopefully us, the agents, we've changed our appraisals to reflect that, so that the buyers can buy. Their expectation, our expectation is too far apart, and we can put the deals together. So yeah, that's where the market was last week. It was an exhausting sort of auction call, and you get that when the market changes, there's a bit of a downward trend in a market. But of course, if the marketing is working, you are at least attracting some buyers. So we're lucky in that aspect that we put a lot of emphasis on our marketing. We certainly push through a lot of ads, up to 200 a week. By the time we've taken all the mediums into consideration, so we do hit a large sector of the market, both nationally and internationally. So that's what our vendors get, and hence the buyer inquiries is quite diverse and requires sometimes just a bit of hand holding and referral to building inspectors and finance brokers and solicitors that understand our industry. Not that I deal with any of them, but at least that it's a starting point for them. So what do we see in 25-26? Well, I think there's going to be a bit of stock on the market. A little bit of stock has come and gone without selling, so that'll come back as the urgency to sell, or the reason to sell is still there. Just because people haven't sold doesn't mean that they don't want to. And it's a matter of meeting the market and moving on. And you're not underselling it by meeting the market. That's just the market value. Something I would say, and I've been saying it for probably 4 years, maybe even 5. And it's coming through that there's no connection between the value of a motel and or a pub, I suppose, but mainly the motels and the value of a residential dwelling. There's no connection. So sometimes a house in your suburb or region is worth more than a motel or a hotel, and that's just the way it is. Residential's increased so dramatically and supply is so short that that's the way it is. And although it makes no common sense that a business producing $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year is worth less than a 3-bedroom house with a sea view. So that's another part of an equation that makes no sense to us, but it's just one that's out there. So everybody have a wonderful week 23. We're trucking on through. We're hoping our new website will be up and running. It's now a good couple of months, 3 months late, but it'll be ready for 25, 26. Got some good additions coming on, and that's really why we've changed it, made it a lot easier for phones to view it. So we've taken a lot of the volume out of it, so you can view it on your phone really easy. Also, there's a little bit more information on there that is live, so I can't really say too much until it drops properly. But we have tried to drop it a couple of times, but unfortunately it wasn't quite what we wanted. So I have been assured that we'll have it up and going by the 1st of July. So fingers crossed it happens. I don't understand that part of business, so we'll just leave it at that. We're on the road, 040-297-0217, Brian at BrianMcManusRealEstate.com. If you're looking at selling, want an appraisal, we will be end of financial year. We'll probably be down south, Wagga, south of Wagga, east and west, so Eden right across to Denny. We will be heading north, but not until first week of July, second week of July, when we'll be up in the northern rivers and central tableland. So we're going to see a lot of the state again, doing about 3,500 Ks, I think, later this month, early next month. So look forward to seeing you. Give us a bell, give us an email. Gonna be out of area, can't help it, way it is. Just leave a message, we'll come back to you and we'll get that appraisal done, get our proposal to you, and get your property on the market and sold. So we're finding that some of the fresh stock coming through is selling to our database, and that's just because it's fresh. Our buyers are cash buyers. That's the other thing. Our buyers are cash buyers, which is great. Anyway, better go.